Welcome to our next lesson about Buxton, a lost utopia, as we work to figure out how Buxton was such a unique community. In our last lesson, we looked at a plat map of the Bluff Creek Township, which is where Buxton was located. We took some time to look at the geographic features and thought about how those affected the transportation and the lives of the people living there. We noticed rivers and creeks, the Consolidated Coal Company, railroad tracks, and we were able to see who owned many of the different spots or parcels of the town. Today, we're going to take a look at a more modern map of Iowa. This is a modern map of the state of Iowa. You do not have this map in your student materials, but it is linked next to where you clicked on this video. So if you'd like to go back and look at it and explore, please do that. There are lots of interesting things to see. Now, right now the map is zoomed out so that you can see the entire state, but we need to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to use this up here. I think 50% will be good for now. I'm going to come down here. So we want to find, first, we want to find where we live, our community. Okay. And let's just mark that on our map. So we live in Marshalltown, and that community is right here. That's a little bit better. Okay, this is where we are. You can see these double red lines right here are the main highway that many of us use to get down to Des Moines when we want to do our shopping. You can also see the highway that goes this way to Cedar Rapids. Or some of you might go down and over to Iowa City. We have a legend on our map. So where we see the two red lines, those are multi-lane highways. And then the single red line is letting us know that is a paved road. So that's where we might only have 2 lanes of traffic. On this map, with its color, you can see all the blue little lines and some blue spots where we have lakes, we have rivers and creeks. And you can see we have the river coming through the Marshalltown area. Okay. And we saw rivers on our map of the Bluff Creek Township in our last lesson. Speaking of Bluff Creek, let's see if we can find the area where Buxton was on our map. Now, Buxton is no longer a full town, so we aren't actually going to see the word Buxton. But here is Monroe County, one of the 99 pieces of Iowa. And if we come to this town and go just a little bit this way, this is about where Buxton would have been, right in this area, because it was part of Monroe County. And one thing I noticed, and I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit for us here. come down to that county again. Is so again, here's Monroe County. Oops, I messed up our color, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. Here's Monroe County. And Buxton would have been right in this area. Okay, maybe up here just a tiny bit. But if you look right here, it says Bluff Creek Park. So we have that Bluff Creek name, which was the area in which Buxton was in back when it was a bustling town. Okay, I want to scroll over one more time and look at the legend on the map. This is going to help you when you are making comparisons with our map that we looked at the other day. I already pointed out a couple of the highway legend pieces. Okay. You'll also see it over here. We have more paved roads, and then we have lighter gray or paved. If you see any roads that are white, gray, kind of almost like a dashed line between those colors, those are gravel roads. And then we have even more highway markers and overpasses and underpasses when we look at bridges. And then we have some, these are called Iowa byways and historic trails. So these are very specific roads. And then down here, which you might find interesting because we talked about railroads in our last lesson, this is going to show you this kind of just a line with like little ticks on it are railroads. Okay, so for instance, just what I'm seeing really quick to give you an idea of that railroad right here is a railroad line. And I'm not a very good tracer on the computer, so bear with me. Okay, and then here you can see this other one that's coming through. And you could follow it up this way as well. Okay. We know for a fact that Marshalltown has a lot of railroads coming through it. So if we were to go back up there, okay, so moving up back to Marshalltown, and if we zoom in, we can see those different tracks that are right here by our town. Okay. We got a small, teeny tiny lake right there. And then like we talked about, we have our rivers that come in too and run right on the outside of Marshalltown. So when we looked at our map of Buxton in our last lesson, we noticed that there was a river right on the edge of the Buxton area as well near the top. And now we're seeing this river right here on the edge of Marshalltown. I wonder if that was one of the reasons this area was chosen to become a town. What do you think? So, in today's lesson, we really took some time to look at this map, this modern map of Iowa. And what you're going to do in your assignment is go ahead and you'll want to click on the link on the video slide and look at this map a little bit more. Feel free to explore. But you'll want to look at this map and our map from the last lesson and think about what is the same about these maps. What is different about these maps? Has anything about for the creators of maps stayed the same? Has anything changed? And what are those things? Those are the questions you're going to be answering in your assignment today. So, like I said, take some time, explore both maps, and think about how they're the same and how they are different.